Hello, water signs. Today I'm going to be doing water elements, and well, this category is going to be, or should I say, this week is going to be about water elements. I've already did all signs, finance, and money, if it allows. But now, guess what? I get it now. Why nobody's watching my videos because it made a whole lot of sense, and I thought like, maybe my intuitive mind is actually telling me lies. But at the same time, I was always taught from ever since I was in school, follow your first thoughts. Always go with the first answer or your gut feeling. Well, I guess I've been right because I felt like there's no one responding in the comments. There's no one having a response. I know water signs. Oh my gosh, they love, and I know they will love to come in and comment and say something slick at the mouth. Now, I'm sure they will get blocked or something like that, but I'm sure I will probably see it, but I don't see any comments. It shows me no comments was blocked or anything, and I was like, why am I pushed so far back? And it just feels like every time I write a comment, I get delete. And I was like, what is going on? But a part of me was like, I know the ordeal from the get-go, and I figured maybe I'm stuck with the ordeal. And a part of me is like, I'm glad I'm being protected because it's a good thing. But at the same time, part of me is like, when I do nothing, I feel guilty. I feel guilty because then I see posts of people that tap into spiritual realm and they realize that, oh my gosh, you can do so much, and then when you get out there try to do something, you got the devil's like, no, block it. And so it's like having this white flag that you're trying to warn everybody, and the other red flag comes up and says, block it, spam it, block it. And it's like people don't want to be saved from doing the things that they do. And I get it. We're humans. We always want to have a taste of fun. And we want to have some times where we just want to laugh at people that's being evil and stuff like that. And I watch a lot of people that do stuff that I feel like I see in my everyday life. So that is, to me, is fun. And you may say, gosh, you tell me somebody walk around with no teeth in their mouth talking junk. It's fun. And it's not necessarily fun. It makes me laugh because I see it around me and I can't believe somebody else is actually filming it. And they crack me up because they are fun to be around. They're entertaining. But you think I wouldn't dare sit with them, and I wouldn't dare. Some things that I see people don't like. I grew up as a little girl sitting with people that's on drugs, follow my auntie them who's on substance really bad. I didn't have any TikTok or social media to film them to what they were doing. I didn't mock them. I didn't feel like I, judged them because I just had fun, because I cracked up. It was my entertainment. Even though you may say there's a lot of stuff in the world that you could have done that was way more entertaining than hang around people who smoke drugs, who drink or stuff. But at the same time, my friends that I was hanging around, I realized that they was on substance and stuff, and they was getting all, woo. And I felt like, oh wow, and I wouldn't say ashamed to be hanging around them. I was just too shocked that they were doing it. And at the same time, a part of me didn't want to see that negative side because when people smoke and drink, they go from good side to that negative side. So when they're in their fix, I don't want to be around people who I'm used to laughing, cutting up with. We have a little TTT, but I don't want to have a huge team when you cuss me out to the fullest because you want to get high. And I'm not going to work and pay my friends my whole paycheck because they feel like, well, I'll pay you back some other day, and then you running hiding for me because that day come and you can't pay me back. So I'd rather not have gotten to that midst of people where I had to constantly chase you for money because you're lying, and I feel like you're a friend, we're supposed to be good, so why you not being good? So I didn't hang around them. So I hang around my own family that was actually doing it. So a part of me kind of like was hoping that she would get the hint and just get away from it, but she never did. It was always like, whatever. So like I said, a lot of stuff online, I kind of get it now. Like, when I was reading, this is the guy thing, the way he was saying stuff, and I felt like I literally copied somebody else's YouTube page. So I know a lot of stuff that he was saying was not it at all because this guy, he had a whole bunch of tags on his page, and it was just like he had like over 100,000 views, and I thought like that is so not it. And he kept getting those views. He kept getting those 100,000 views. So I was looking at people who actually had a lot of views, and I was copying what they were doing. So that's what people say. Look at somebody else's videos, do what they're doing. So now I'm being told, oh, your tags are not helping you any. And I feel like this place is such a big place where it keeps black people hold back. And a part of me is like, whew, I'm so glad to be last. Thank you, God. Thank you. Because a part of me, I know that I'm being protected. And I feel like You may say, why do you feel like you're being protected about being held back? Because when you have experienced what I experienced, and then you kind of understand why. Because not everybody deserves the apples off the tree or deserves the cherries off the tree. Not everybody deserves the bananas. So not everybody's going to get the fruit of the tree. Not everybody's going to know how to say, oh my gosh, someone tells you that's a cherry, and if you eat that cherry, it blah, 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 blah. Not everybody is welcome to that tree. God says, I give you every tree out here, but do not touch this tree. So now it's like God puts his trees on this earth, and a lot of them is in the status where they're blinded by that tree. They're not able to eat from that tree. They're not allowed to socialize or be among that tree. So I kind of get it. But some people feel like that tree has tree of knowledge. That tree has tree of this, and you're missing out. So the devil sometimes he'll tell certain people, hey, that tree has tree of knowledge. You go to that tree, you get, you'll live forever. And sometimes God told you go to that tree, you'll surely die. So some people feel like they can play with you, they can do all kind of stuff to you, and they could be and not realizing that that tree of knowledge that you've gained, you surely, So I think it's kind of confusion to people in the way I said it, because in the Bible, the tree of knowledge was a tree that God told man not to touch because you will surely die with. So I'm using that same thing where God will come upon. He put Jesus here. Jesus was the tree of knowledge. He came along, he healed people, he gave them messages and stuff, and people actually executed them. So he wasn't necessarily the bad thing, but people suffered from what they did to him. So he was like a tree that people can eat up from, which means that they can sit among him and be healed, and they can eat among them and feel fulfilled. You literally eat food and you don't feel like you're hungry or you're starving. You just feel this warm energy of like a safeness or just a good vibe. And I think that a lot of people missed that because they became blinded to him. But like I said, he didn't come here to live forever. He didn't come here for people to just, he became just to save their souls. And once he saved their soul, that was his time up. But I feel like if people would have not been blind to him and not have taken him in that way, and I feel like if the preachers of the churches and stuff, or the ministers of God would have actually understood his presence, I feel like maybe it would have did a different way. Because I feel like people have good and evil, and I think people have a tendency to want to do what their desires are. And I think as long as people don't comprehend what Jesus tried to say, it's like they constantly stay in this lock mode of ooh, that drives me crazy. I don't want to be on that. That's boring. And I think once you kind of wake up and get it, I think the world will stop being a buzzard. You may say a buzzard. Ugh. What do you mean? It's just, well, water signs, and fire signs. You two are the ones that are doers, which are the people are the top tiers. You're the ones who have dreams and compassion, and you have this need or desire to be with somebody, to always be in the mix of something. And as long as people have that desire to be with somebody, and they don't say this is wrong, what the heck, this I don't want to raise no children to this is. And I feel like as long as everybody's sleeping and dreaming and wanting those desires, it's kind of hard for people to literally, find out what's the true meaning of life, because a lot of people are drunk, and a lot of people don't know the power that Jesus had when he was around him. And some people will say, yeah, he had power. Oh, God was powerful. And then turn around and go rape, go do certain things to people that was, they go out in the store and steal and do all kind of evil stuff. But in their minds, they pretend that they were such a holy person and do. And people look at me the same way, especially people that come and spy on my internet, spy on my computer. When I turn off the internet, they're still watching. But I guess that to them, they want to find something bad about me. She's selling drugs. Her dad was this, and oh, she's doing this. Her mom was this, and oh, she's doing this because her brothers did this. People put you in a category with your families, but you can't do them like that. They're like, oh no, I'm a different straight. I'm a different person. You can't hold me accountable for my kids. Oh, it's a whole problem when you try to put them in the midst of their family. Are you just like your siblings? Are you just like your mom? Are you just like your dad? No, you will say, I'm a totally different seed from the people. And when you're not, some of them will confess that they are. But some of them will take these jobs in position and they will add, Lord, there is so much better and that they can do. But that's why the dream saver would have said, this group of people, this person, this, da 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 da. And a lot of them think like, okay, so what? It pays my bills. Oh well, I'm still gonna do this because I feel like a cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. I feel like a Cocoa. And I get it. I'm hearing all day. You know, I had to learn it myself. You know, I trust me. I definitely went cuckoo. I definitely went nutsy. And I can't promise you that it was not a time when I thought like, oh my god. It was a time. It was a time. It was a time when you get into spiritual realm, you first actually get into it. It literally feels like it's worse than the nightmares that you have. So some people, some people that get into it, they don't see nothing, and all of a sudden, boom, bam, certain things go happen, and you don't know how to control it. You got to know exactly when it's going to hit, what's going to hit, and you got to pay attention to stuff. Because if you don't pay attention, unable to get into there, it'll drive your friends and your family, everything that you love the most is coming for it. Okay, so you got to be on T-Todd and paying attention, wide open, your senses, and knowing what's up. Because when I say you got to know some old people, you got to know some old people, and you got to know what they mean, what they're saying. I want to see what's the problem. You got to remember all the stuff that they have said, and sometimes it'll play back in your head, and sometimes they'll be trying to tell you how to do it, And it's like what you call it? It's like those scary movies you see on TV. And a lot of people say, well, how you watch all them scary movies? Because you just never know when you need to remember some stuff so you can know how to throw that rope out there and roll that horse back. Because, sometimes the horse that they'll call Wild Bill, but he's also called, so he's a rider. And he comes out there riding, honey. And you out there talking on spiritual world, them things are like, well, you gotta run. You don't know what you're playing with. That's what a lot of people think. Oh, you're in this. You're new. You don't know what you're playing with. You new to the scene. Just because I got a new to the channel, just because my channel ain't going nowhere, it's because people behind the scene know exactly what they're doing. They can make this thing go out there as big as they want to. I have seen many people with no faces, and talking way more noise than I talk. These people out here, they out there, especially what's the face. He cuss everybody out. MF, you got my MF channel, and that boy gets 67,000 views on video upload 100,000. So I know it ain't about what you're talking, and I know it ain't about what you're writing on there, because that boy gets some, okay? And a lot of people get them. A lot of people get all that stuff going on, but they just got their picks of who they want to get up the front, and especially if they feel like it's you're gonna do better than them, and they feel like, oh, you're trying to be slick. You think you're slick? No, just go to a psychic and let her tell you who I am, what I'm all about. I promise you, I ain't trying to trick nobody out of nothing. But go to a good reader, good professional psychic, not somebody who sits back and says, well, the yellow is green and it's the star is a hangman card. It's purple right here, and it's red shoes and it's a blue shirt. That means they have on clothing. Yeah, this is sun up here. It means it's probably up there in sun. The sun is probably hot. Not those kind of people who just read from the book. I'm talking about go through somebody who don't have to pick up a card. Somebody that do what I do. When I know you watching me, people like that. I'm talking about some psychics like that. So you can see that, hey, what you're doing with. Because I'm not trying to. There's certain things they're not going to be able to tell you. They can't go too far. If they do, But anyway. So I let them play. I let them do what they do. I keep doing what I'm doing until I'm all burnt to freak out over it. And sometimes I get really burnt out from it. Like today is one of them days. I'm just like, I want to go to sleep. And I have talked 13 minutes water signs of complaining. And I complain because of the fact that I know water signs are not watching my videos. I know there can't be no water signs, because I know water signs is going to have something to say, especially they don't like you judge them. Because they feel like, I do what I want to do, and I just want to know why the other person is wrong when both of them are wrong, So you can't just only judge what the other person did to you. And then my spiritual world is like, see, this is why I don't condone this, because you only making that person feel good about their sins. Are you counteracting and telling them what they're doing wrong? Can you see their faults and see how they act towards the other person to make the other person act towards them? Can you see that? Do you see that side? So you choose to ignore that side just so that you can find favor in this person here. And that's why I call it raw insights, because this is what I feel on this side. Is when I start doing this, I have to go both sides. I can't just do like a lot of people who you see on the scene doing. and they just sit there and says, okay, Pisces, this is what they're doing to you. They are hurting you, da 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 da. But what did Pisces do to them? What did Virgo do to them? What did Scorpio do to them? What did Taurus do to them? What did Capricorn do to them? What did Cancer do to them? So it's always, y'all are 6 signs. It's always, what do you counteract towards a person? I know how water signs can be from my experiences with some of them. Some of them are not been, some of them have been family, and some of them has been friends, and some of them has been people that I work with that are not even my friends. So I know how the enemies get down and their emotions. They're crying because they're not light skinned, or they may be eating, they're not too thin, and they're mad because they want to eat everything they see, and then they get mad because they're not size 2. Who problem is that? You choose to be that size. I choose to be big too. I'm a big girl too. I choose to be size 22. 22 is big, okay? I choose to be a big girl because of what I eat. I choose that because I like what I eat. So if you don't want to eat all that stuff that you don't eat, then do something about it. Don't hold somebody else a fault because they're size 2 and they feel like they got the guys. No, that's not true. A lot of men like big women because they feel like they know what, once they go up become a man, they understand what is, the best appetites for them. You know what I'm saying? So those who are skinny and have a skin complex is usually the earth signs: Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. Just like one of the guys now that's on the news. Not the news. I'm not supposed to say he's on TMC. He's one of those guys. Hold up, let me get something. When he was talking, the first thing I said, he was a Capricorn. Because he said, "Ooh, you look like one of them big fat women." When you wore that, something, you want a big fat butt. And she was walking, and the way he said it was like he hated big women. And the way he said it was so insulting, and it felt like it's a Capricorn when he said that. Because I know how some Capricorn men talk, and some of them like big women, but a lot of Capricorn men they like their women to be perfect, and they like their women to be fragile thin. And my brother, he's the same way. All his women was thin except for one, but he definitely liked all his women. He liked all his women to be really thin. And my cousin, he wouldn't date a big girl. He would say, "I'm so gross and sick down." He said, "I can't even bear to talk to a big girl." And if you look at him, you'd be like, "You should be glad you have anybody." Wow. Because he like a horse. I don't know. But at the same time, he just looked disgusted when he's talking about big women. He don't like women my size at all. He disgusted with that. Oh my God. And he told disgusted with his mom because his mama was big all her life. And all he said, "She just so mean." I guess because his mom was kind of mean to him because his mom was a Libra. So and so him, if you know some people, they're shocked when they tell you something, especially to tell you for the first time. And you choose to not listen the first time, then they get loud the second time, or louder the third time. And when we have air and earth and air, earth is more sensitive. It's a little more sensitive than, excuse me, I got something in my mouth, so my sound, but I'm trying to keep my throat from coughing every time. I have to keep stopping because I'm sleepy, and because nobody wants to go to sleep. Everything is like, oh, so to keep my body kind of moist and not dragging like I am. Trying to stay up. This is just 7 o'clock. I'm not really getting to bed at 7. So, if I get up at 7, I know if I go to bed at 7 o'clock, I'm up at 4. I know I'm going to be up at 4. But, and I'm trying to clean up still, and I have to make my bed. So I'm washing my clothes with I waste milk all over my freaking bed. So, oh my God. So now I have to wash clothes. And I just got through reading about fire signs. I have to wash clothes. And then I turned around and said, you guys made me go to the laundry bag. And then I turn around and do the same thing. Oh my God. Me just reading it and how to do it. And I had to do it bad. So, ooh, that might do laundry real bad. And now I do it right. Gotta waste milk on my bed. Well, not my bed, somebody's bed. But anyway. You might as well say my bed because it's the only one. Because they don't believe in secret honesty. So anyway, I kind of forgot what I was saying. This stuff is burning my throat. But anyway, his mama was big, and she was Rick's nerve because she pretty much made him grow up as a man. And I said, well, ain't you thankful for what she taught you as a young person? I said, now you know how to cook and clean and iron and do all that stuff. He was like, yeah, but he just felt like he should have been a child. But water signs are very sensitive, and sometimes they just feel like the world is earthy. You get what I mean? Earthy is basically energy where you just don't feel like you should have to. You ever seen people who goes on TikTok and they goes out to the woods and they just cook their food on the grill or take the money for food from the ocean? Well, that's how a lot of earth signs and water signs kind of tend to, because some of them don't like to pay bills. And Gemini sort of the same way, and so does some of the Aquarius. They will figure out a way of not paying bills. And Libras, we could be a bad team. When I see some of us and I'm like, ooh. One thing I could say with my friend, she said she lived in this house for 8 years and they kicked her out. And she said, that's one thing about me. She said, I made sure I paid my rent. She said, I may have struggled with everything else. She said, but I made sure my rent was paid every month. She said, my rent went all the way down to nothing. Later jacked it back up to $400 something. And she said she still only got 2 jobs to make sure she paid her bills. And she said it hurt her to her heart for them to pull her out. But after they had them drop her rent down, because they jacked it back up and then dropped it down, I think the other lady had gathered the chair. And once she had left the office, it's like, not the office, she was the main manager over the district of the apartments where they stayed. And once she had left or retired or something, then her rent went back down. Because they did everything over. And she said it hurt her heart for them to put out. But she was also doing stuff with other hand. Like I told her, you can't let your you cannot do stuff and don't get judged by it. If you got away with stuff for and you didn't go to jail, and you turn around, it's in your energy with your kids. And she was like, when they did what they did to her child, she was like, I've never did this stuff around my children. She said, I always made sure, and she was slick now. I don't care how sick she was. I said, but you have to understand, he's your child. And she said, I know. She said, and I would try to tell him all the time. She said, I want better for you. I said, no matter what. I said, you had him. You had her and the other. And she said, she just as bad. She said, she go in these stores and turn around and call me. I have to go up there and talk to people because they know me. I said, exactly. But see, they don't know that you do the same thing that you're doing. Because they don't catch you, but they catch your seed. And so they didn't hurt you, but they hurt your child. But I ain't never broken about a house. I've never went about a house and took nothing. And so in her mind, she felt like, why did it go that way? It went that way because it came from you. That's your child. The Bible says the sin that you do will come upon your children. If you don't pay the price for that, then you will see and suffer it through your children. You will have pity and feel bad because this will hurt you. This is a part of your soul. When that child come out you, that's very, 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 like, oh my God. Like, if you have a baby, you have no clue what you have done. It's like someone taking a piece of your flesh and pulling it off of you. And taking a knife and just pulling the flesh off of your body. I know I shouldn't be saying that, but hey. And that's like a part of you that come out you. That you don't feel like this world. But when that child leaves this world, like she said, it does something to her. She felt she couldn't feel something. She said it felt like something in her just passed away. She said it literally felt like I could feel my child just fall off of me. She said, and I tried to pick it up and try to look on the ground. She said, I'm looking all over the ground trying to figure out where my baby at or what happened. What happened? She said, because it just felt like something just fell out of me. And she said, it felt so lost. She said, honey, she said, I don't know, I just kept looking on the ground and kept looking. I couldn't find something. She said, it just felt like I lost it. She said, when they called me and told me that he had them gone, and I said, oh, no, he hadn't. She said, because a part of me was like, I knew. She said, because that feeling came back to me as if to say that was that thump and that was that fall. She said, and I kept on trying not to pass out. She said, and I kept on thinking like, no. She said, I kept walking up all I could see was my baby blood up and down the sidewalk. And she said, I kept on saying, no, that ain't him. She said, it looked like he was trying to escape and run from them, and they ran out behind him and just shot him 8 times. And she said, I just can't believe somebody will see somebody that little. Because her little boy, he looked like, he's older in age. I think he was like, I forgot the age he was. But he's older in age, but he's like a midget. You ever see those little short people who like midgets? But he's really short like that. And he was so cute. He had the prettiest dimples in his cheek. Oh my God, he was so gorgeous. Oh my God, it was a pretty little boy. And she just said she just couldn't understand. I said, all these years that you got away with that stuff, all those years that you just go on that stuff and say, oh, I need a new hair. Oh, I need this, and I'm just going and take it and have a big old smile on your face, and they couldn't say nothing because you're sweet charming. All those little things that you didn't pay the price for, you didn't go to, I say so. All them steaks and stuff and shrimps and you would get from Winn-Dixie and go on the stores and put them up under you and walk on out the store like there wasn't nothing to it, you know. All those things that you didn't go to jail for, you didn't go to prison. It's God knew that you was gonna have them babies. And them babies come down and oh my God. The first one they took from you. The second one, you raised her. But she went in the store doing the same thing, but you had to go around and talk people out on people who were in jail. The other little boy, he was going in houses. He was like, oh Lord, please God, don't let him in. She said, you're going to end up in prison. You're going to end up in prison. He ended up not in prison. He ended up in the ground. His other brother, I think he moved with his daddy. Because after that, he just went kind of like, he don't want that kind of lifestyle for him. So his daddy kind of took care of him and raised him. She was a Libra, but she is Libra. But she couldn't and she's a perfect example of your sins falling down on your children. And she was like a walking zombie for a long time. You see her, she was like she was just numb. I know when she was explaining to me and telling me what happened, she actually came and talked to me and stuff. And a part of me was like, because we used to be really, really good friends when we was growing up. And then I was kind of like pulled away from her because she just kept on doing stuff that I did not like for her to do. And she kept thinking it was cool and cute. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you're giving me a major breakdown. I can't think that this guy here was like, I mean, we're in middle school, okay? And this man here is not even in high school, okay? And he would beat her so, like, he would have knocked her across the room like she was some kind of, you ever seen a beach ball and how it just bounces and just be bouncing so effortlessly versus a basketball or soccer ball, you know? And she would just be, he just knocked the one out of her so quickly. And she had a slick little mouth. And she had a little challenging little mouth with her. But he talked first, he cracked up with you a little bit better. Right? He would hit that little notch in him, and he would love him. He was crazy. But her mama kind of like had him locked up because I think he, I don't know, real bad. And I think when he did that real bad to her, I think he did something to somebody else. And then I think he did something to another. And whatever he actually did to somebody else, I think that's was the last straw. And they had him. And the mama, her mom, I think, is really, her mama didn't like him, and she didn't like her really. But you know your mama loved you. But at the same time, she made sure his behind he wasn't there for a long time. Oh my God, he was in there probably like 18 years or so. He was in there, woo. He looked like a demon, and he performed like one. And I said he looked like the devil, he like a snake. You ever seen those people? They got them snake eyes and their mouths, they ain't got no lips, and they got little tiny noses. Boy, they look like they're demons, and he was, whew. He looked like a snake, and he looked like he was full of the devil. You know, he had a nice shape, you know, for a man, but he, I don't know, he might have been a fire sign, but he was just really, really nasty. He would cut up with her, and they would seem more cool, because the one of his eyes, like, they wasn't really kind of open wide, but he seemed like he was cool, he really liked it, but honey, that boy was just so, ooh, he was like a so huge snake. And when he went to jail, he got out and turned around and gave up that stuff. And somebody said, girl, you know what's going on? I said, what? She said, you heard what's going on? I said, no. He said, girl, you heard he got out of jail and gave old girl that. I said, for real? I said, she probably already had it, because I don't know where she got it from. And he said, nah, they said he had it. And they said he gonna get out and he gonna F with, because the prisoners, her mama had him locked up along with the other girl. He said he gonna find her if he don't extra, you know, blah blah blah. He said, but he want that end to slowly and suffer, and you know. And I was just like, for real? But he looked like he was a whole human demon that came from whatever pits up he came from, because he looked like he was He like, you know, so, and she was always talking about him and acting seem like he was so great, and I can't wait my baby come home. Oh, I just love him. I can't wait till he get off from work. Oh, I just love him. And I just got so sick and tired of hearing it, because every time he come over there he go fighting, and there you go kicking, and there she go, why don't you stop playing? Why don't you stop? I love you. And it was every single day. And I got so tired of being scared for her, and so tired of trying to defend her, until she was like, no, just let him be. I'll just come back later. Just come back later. Oh my God. Woo! Every single day. Every day we hung together. Okay, and I don't know why she thought that was okay. It just burned me out. It ain't burned her out. It burned me out. I couldn't take it. Oh my goodness, I couldn't take it. But anyway, I'm human. We all have a time when we can't take too much of some people's stuff. So water signs, let's get on with your reading. I am Nicole, and if you need a personal reading, you can look down. I can't say the description no more, but I think one other thing have an email. I think my email is in my main description box, where it tells you about my channel. So I think you can look over there for a description box for my email if you need to email me about anything. And like, comment, subscribe to the channel, supporting me, share. I hope that's okay for you to be like, share the content. And what I don't understand about social media, if you don't push it out there, why can't people market their channel? Like, how do people supposed to get their channel out there if you put so much blockage and saying you're doing stuff? And I understand people spams and people do a lot of petty stuff, but I feel like if people are trying to actually make legitimized work and try to, you know, do the right thing, why do you put them in the back seat? And people who put the foolishness, you got the biggest day, 200,000, 100,000, million, 10 million views, 100 million. It's like a kid is running this whole entire platform. But at the same time, you can't judge them, because in their minds, we rule the world. And I'm like, wait till you find out. Wait till you find out. Okay. But hey, it is what it is. So if it's spin, it's spin. If it don't, it don't. I'll never go anywhere. Or just sitting there wasting time. Then we can make chess moves. Just make them chess moves. What you want to do? The Hangman, water signs. Some of you guys is either letting it go, and some of you guys was hanging on to somebody, trying to see what's going on. Some of you guys were dealing with somebody who's already married, had somebody. So some of you guys was like, I like him, he fine, he's sexy. I want to start. Well, I can't even start. Don't matter for him because he's married. So some of you guys had all these dreams and hopes for somebody and be like, oh Lord, they're married. So now I gotta get off my behind and find me somebody else new. I gotta find me an old juju. Some of you guys decided you want to find an older man because you want somebody who couldn't comprehend what you was doing. You didn't want this person to be able to fight you or conflict you. Some of you guys was hard. And some of you guys were just like, I'm looking for somebody old to love me, to let me down, all the way down. Let's go into the past. present, which is sort of like the energy you're leaving out your past. This past that I've read is something that happened maybe a couple weeks ago. I feel like some of you guys wanted to end a cycle with somebody who probably was married, but you decided, let's give it another try. But at the same time, I also feel like you was missing somebody who is middle age or younger than you. But I feel like you guys were just like, I can't show you off in public, but this person here I can. So I feel like some of you guys, you got with somebody who you can show off in public and probably get pregnant from, and let everybody in the world know that you guys are together. And again, maybe you guys had a baby coming in, or surprise everybody about being pregnant. So I feel like some of you guys were trying to keep it a secret, and some of you guys was like, "Hi, I'm pregnant. You're young. Not a coming out the way." And maybe this first sign that you're dealing with, some of you guys may be dealing with the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but the majority of you guys are dealing with the Leo, who's pretty much not so happy about the fact that you got this baby. It's because their minds is more focused on the conflict that's going on around them, and they feel like it's too much bullcrap going on for you to have this baby. We don't need no baby. We really don't need a baby because I don't need the stress of a newborn baby. I don't need the stress of a person who's pregnant. So somebody does not want the conflict. Nobody wants to be sitting there trying to search around, trying to figure out. So somebody don't want a baby. Some of your water signs may have I don't want to speak out of existence, but some of you guys, it may happen. Maybe some of you guys on substance real bad. It may cause this. Some of you guys with the babies. Also, I feel like some of you guys are feeling carefree, like you don't have any responsibilities and you're happy about that. But the person who you probably had the kids guys, he's not so happy. He's not too kite about that. So this person here is like, I've been the third wheel and now you treat me like I'm actually the third wheel. So somebody feel like their opinions or their desires don't matter, and it's probably because you're married to somebody. Sometimes in certain places they do not allow the other person on that side to actually have any real opinions about the child, because it's actually the husband's child. So some of you guys could be dealing with some energy where the husband has the rights over the children versus the man who's the side dude who got the woman pregnant who is married. So some of you guys going through that. Now my cousin is married and he's a fire sign, and he is going through the same thing where the woman he's messing with is married. It's like they don't want to give him any say so with the child because he's married. And I have my brother going through the same thing. So it's like a lot of people not a lot of people I know that's in an energy where they're going through this whole, it's crazy. I'm saying this and it's making me remember their actions, so that's why I'm speaking on them. So some of your water signs, you could have been dealing with that, but see, my cousin's going through with a Virgo, and the other guy, he's going through with a Scorpio, but it's a water sign. So I feel like for some of you guys, you're just some of you guys may not be telling something that you know. So something that somebody came and told you about something, you're playing dumb to somebody else when somebody asks you a question about it. It's like, well, did someone tell you about something, and you might say, no, I don't know. So what I'm saying that for is because someone got a message, and the message that you received, you're not sharing the news with somebody. You're keeping it to yourself, okay? Some of you guys may not know the proof of something because you're not doing research. Someone tells you something that's okay, and you run with it. Instead of you doing the research and figure out on your own, your water signs are just letting whatever it be. So always do your research. Always make sure you dot your T's and dot your I's and cross your T's. Get it together. Okay, don't let nobody jack you around with the J's, okay? So be mindful, water signs, where you guys become the doers and don't be the baby and act like you're not. Like whatever someone says, okay, I'll just say whatever you say. Don't do that. Just do your research, be investigative. Some of you Scorpios, you don't take you go deep dive or something. But Pisces and Cancers have a tendency to be more like washy. Like, okay. And some of the men of Cancers, they kind of like go mob deep because they want to see what's on it. Sometimes they just need an excuse to go to another way, or to dilly-dally and do what they want to do, and then regret it. So, also, like I said, do your research. Don't let someone fool you. You could be dealing with a fire sign female who's a mother of many kids, but this person here could be just full of it. But I feel like this person here is definitely not so into God. Like she says she is. She's fake. She's not whole religious. I feel like for some of you guys, you're not into the church. You're not actually following the scripture of the Bible, and you actually not paying attention to what the Word of God says. So therefore, if you lack the faith in Him, it's important that you actually get to know his word so he can show you what you need to know. Because I feel like for some of you guys, you're playing blind to this, or you're just taking whatever somebody tell you. Some of you guys may have to go to courts maybe in 3 weeks. As I said before, some intuitive minds is not working for some of you guys. You're not lying it to come inside foreplay with you because you don't really want to know something. Okay, let me stop right here then. Okay, water signs. Let's see what's going on with the my invisible water signs. Because I know water signs watching, you guys will be in it. And okay, so some of you guys could be in a fight game. This probably says, oh yeah. Some of you water signs, I think some of you guys are either you getting divorced with someone maybe in 3 weeks. If you're not getting divorced with somebody, I feel like some of you guys may be going to court and somebody that you thought had your back is not having your back, or something that you thought you was gonna get, you didn't get your desires. So I feel like for some of you water signs, I feel like you thought you was gonna keep this third party going on with somebody, and I feel like this person is now showing that they are really angry with you. So you may see a side of the person where they can't see the future with you, or they don't want to see the picture that you're trying to paint to them for some of you water signs. So be mindful. Somebody who you are really pissed off because they're like, I don't want to deal with you no more. Some of you guys could be going to the beach or living it up La Vista with your boyfriend. Some of you guys are just, and I want to say a bike game, but I don't know if this person had maybe the Scorpio with a gun or whatnot. I should say with the play. Well, I'm not trying to bite my words, but people don't bite the words. Anyway, so let's move on. For some of you water signs, so you could be teaching your kids Bible study, or you could be working in a doctor's office or a laboratory where you go and try to discover how plants and stuff grow, or maybe how a plant or something helps the body. Some of your water signs are enjoying time where you could with your boyfriend or husband. So it could be either you guys do it on social media where you cook together, or you guys are just either he cooks for you or you cook for him, or you both are cooking together. So it's one way or the other, or you both go in and cook together, or maybe the female is younger than him and he cooks for her, or maybe you're older than him and he cooks for him. So it's showing me two options. Actually, more than two options, but you know. I don't know if someone is chasing or not, either you or the person who is chasing someone, or someone is chasing you. Water signs, vice versa. Be careful hurting yourself in the woods with someone who you think you can trust. This person might leave you abandoned, or might try to do more than just like, oh, you fell, you're not supposed to trip you off, and then make it seem like they was have best interest in you, when in reality they try to make you fall so that you could be at your weakest point. So be mindful of falling inside a strange place where you feel like you can trust somebody. So if you're in the woods and taking a hike with somebody and you're like, oh my God, jeez, but somebody that's trying to help you, pretends to help you, but in reality they just want to, you know. Some of you guys may be on OnlyFans, and you could be dating somebody who's weird. Of course, right? So, who else? Too late, he had one job, he's blocked. So some of you guys may be very petty when it comes down to your children and their daddy. So it could be an energy where you block the baby's daddy, or you may feel like this man doesn't help you enough when he's trying to help. So he has the money, but you don't have the money. So it's like you faulted him for stuff, but like I said, it's like someone is trying to do the right thing, and maybe they joke around and petty around or do things that get on your nerves, and it makes you feel like, okay, because you're not with me and because you're with that other person, I'm just gonna make it seem like you are just not doing enough. So it's like you blocking the kids from getting what they need when they're in school. So there's a lot of energy going on for kids that's in school where the parents is being very petty with each other. So it's affecting their schools and affecting them to be able to do things with other kids because you're constantly causing conflict. So that's why you get this big major here. It's because it's a major energy where a lot of people are just being in their emotions and their feelings and not thinking about the kids that you had out of your feelings. Because everybody's runs like, hey, turn up, isn't it? It's mish time, mashed potato head, mashed potato. But so this is what the surprise is after the mashed potatoes. Anybody gonna tell me? So you telling me after I ate that good mashed potatoes, you telling me I took care of this Holland? Oh man, take it back. Because I feel like a lot of water signs and a lot of fire signs have a tendency to just always want to do mashed potatoes. And then once you do those mashed potatoes, you feel like, oh, it should be nothing behind it. And some of you guys will use that and say, okay, now you got to sit me forever and you got to be me only. And while I be with everybody else, I'm going to have 5 or 6 other people, but you going to be unto me, okay? I want you on my dog leash as well. So some things, it don't make sense in life because it's confusion to your children. And sometimes you don't care about how the kids feel, whether or not it's confusion. Sometimes it's all about me. And that's kind of like a thing of saying it's wrong, okay? Because that karma has to come back. And the reason why I say it comes back onto you because I have water sign parents, okay? And my sisters hate my dad so bad. So I'm thinking to myself, like, that don't make no sense to have him like that. But he's a Scorpio. And they can't stand it, man. And when I tell you they don't care if he needs something, if he's in the hospital, they might go visit him. They wouldn't lift a finger for him. And he be like, oh, give me that cup over there. They'll walk out the room. I ain't lifting a finger for you. I ain't doing nothing for you. So you have to be mindful of how you treat your kids. It can't be all about you. Like he said, once you turn 18, you're grown. I ain't got to worry about you no more. That's not true. They're your kids. Until you're not able to do for them anymore, you keep doing, because when you get to your 60s or 80s, 70s, when you get down into your 50s, 55, your body gets real sleepy, okay? It's like you want to go to bed at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, okay? So you're already hitting that stage of being over the top tired. Then once you leave that stage, you go into the stage of 60 and 70 and 80 and 90. You got like 4 levels that your children have to take care of you, okay? So be mindful of telling your children they're grown when you have them, okay? Because they'll always probably need mom and dad for something as long as mom and dad is able. But at the same time, I'm the type of person where if I had children, that I would not allow my children to live in my home if you just ran them out there doing what you want to do. Now, I don't mind helping you out a little here and there, but if you're on drugs or something, you have to show me proof that you're actually in rehab and getting the help and actually serious about it. I'm not giving you something if I don't see you taking the steps to it, because I'm not ticking on your patterns and catering to what you're doing, spoiling you on substance, spoiling you to be a drunk, spoiling you to be out there and just have random people angry, because I feel like you have to learn how to control your mind and control your desires. So I will not cater to that, but I will make sure my grandkids are good. I will make sure that some things that you need, you're good. Now, if you in your house and you trying to do the best you can to work and get these jobs, and I got money to help you pay your rent or pay your light bill, I will do that for my children, because like I said, I want you to understand your mistakes and the things that you're doing before all of this come about, okay? So I do get that part. Some of your water signs could be definitely inside the kitchen, maybe cooking hot dogs on the grill. It definitely burned it up. Some of you guys could be all auto sales and stuff, but some of you guys could be preachers. I keep getting this card with somebody to have nightmares about the arguments that they had, so they had that twice. Some of you guys are crying over your grandkids. Some of you guys are crying over your children. But some of you guys are missing your kids a lot. So some of you guys are just really hurt, been hurt for some of your water signs, and you really missing someone. Survivor preference. So some of you guys are trying to figure out prep for Survivor, and some of you guys are just waiting to go to the moon, Alex, or taking off to the moon. Some of you guys are thinking about The Walking Dead or like to watch the movie called The Walking Dead. Some of you guys are just don't live home. Some of the children have left home and they're amongst the people and everybody looks like the zombies. So maybe your kids are seeing a lot of people who's bent over. You had the people bent over like they on that stuff. So some of your kids could be walking by and seeing XX bodies and stuff and seeing people unusual things that they never seen before. There's people, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Somebody could be going up for a lineup. Somebody could be taking your picture. So be careful what you're doing. If you're out there getting a little bit too, but at the same time, this could be somebody that's, everybody knows. But this is because when it comes to my cards, it could be somebody I know, in, family wise, or it also could. Right now, it says no. But it could be somebody that we all know, and we're gonna probably be shocked by. Oh my God, what the heck, I get tired of reading. Every time I read it, I can't never catch up to everybody else. Because by the time I say it, it's like, oh, TMC's got it, or the news got it. So, I feel like I'm wasting my time. Some of you guys gonna be surprised to see somebody who you think was coming by to your house or coming home to you guys. Some of you guys can only talk to your lover or boyfriend or husband only through a FaceTime. Some of you guys could be males and females if you're husband and wife. So you guys win your court case and you're gonna be so happy. You're cheered up and you're over thrilled. Some of you guys could be working in a spa place, and I would say be mindful of that spa place. And I think a lot of stuff I'm saying now, like the guy says, if you're saying certain stuff and they may be blocking it, so a lot of stuff that I'm saying in spiritual world, I guess. But I can't say that because a lot of people videos that comes up is more ratchet than mine, and I be trying to block some words. And someone be slipping out, but that can't be. It's just like I said, it's a little bit more deeper than that. So some of you guys could be cooking food for a lot of people, different cultural people. Some of you guys could be on airplanes where you have to need medical attention or something like that. So you're probably in the airplane where it has to give you something to keep you. You have to have like special equipment inside a plane in order for you to go certain places. So some of you guys may have to have special treatment when you travel to the airplane or something. That's crazy. I never know that before. But anyway, as I said before, be mindful on social media because this come out again. But I think I got this in water signs. So this water signs, y'all need to be careful who date because once again, this person may be, to keep you, happy. So somebody could be taking the H to keep happy or the M to keep you happy. But at the same time, somebody could be doing it to you and it's your first time. So you could be dealing with some people who are mad and crazy. Some of the water signs. I think I got this for Scorpio. So, yeah, be mindful. And if some of you guys are depressed and upset, hey, let's keep the hygienes up because the kids are just like driving themselves crazy. Because I don't know. So a lot of this, oh my goodness, I'm sleeping. Trying to stay up. Some of you just had a baby, or some of you guys are about to bring a baby in this world. Some of you guys may be meeting somebody at the restaurant where you work at, and he's really impressed with you. If you're staying in one of them little houses, yeah. And them houses talking about you go in there, everybody look like they don't tuck something and own something forever in the day. So I call it junk box. But it looks like it's apartments or something, like in New York somewhere. So I'm sure you see what's going on. So be mindful of standoff. And someone is helping someone in disaster. So some of you guys are helping someone, aid someone with disaster efforts or something like that. So Let's see what else water signs before I get up out of here. What is your love talking about? You caught me cheating, and it's like the worst thing ever. So this person had been cheating on you for the longest, but yet still, when you cheated, it seemed like the whole entire world crashed because this person could not handle it when you cheated on them. So he was like, well, I'm glad you seen it, but I'm gone. I'm done with this relationship. I only wanted you to see what happened because I wasn't planning on staying with you anyway. So one of you water signs, either someone caught you cheating after they realized you were cheating for a long time, or you caught them cheating for a long time and you decided to pay them back. So some of you guys been loyal to the force. So he was like, I'm tired. I'm gonna pay you back and I'm gonna go. I'm gone. Bye. Oh, okay. I've seen that part. That's not real. Dealing with some bad luck from the job that had as an online teleworker. You'll be getting your refund and amounts. Okay. Some of you guys will get a tax refund on amount of $3,400. You had children, but you married me and went back to your ex-wife. You receive your tax refund in the amount of $3,000 plus an extra to somebody paid. I can't really be saying on here, so I'm just saying something. You cook as if you don't want to and wish you never did. So somebody cooks like they don't want to cook and they don't really put any effort or love any food cooking. So water signs, be mindful of that because like I said, some of you Pisces, you got to really throw down sometimes. But at the same time, when you're really mad, you could say that part of your daily welcome when you're mad. So put your love in your kitchen. Okay, and I think Cancers do the same thing. Now Scorpios, I don't know. It's hard because I love when Scorpios cook. You know, my friend, she can be mad as a crap with her boyfriend talking noise, but her food still smells good. Okay, so I don't know. To me, Scorpios, from my experience, my friends and my family, they always cook good and always going through something. My Scorpio friends and family stay in the midst of anger, so I don't know why their food always tastes good. But Pisces and Cancer, whoo, them two, you better not eat that food if they bad because my God, and Virgos, I don't know what goes wrong. So anyway, you loved. Ooh, honey, somebody y'all dealing with somebody who y'all thought like, but didn't like women. So somebody dealing with somebody who you thought was in love, and you're gonna find out. You discover that this person here was like joining up, sexy, ain't nothing wrong if you wanna all night long, yeah, hey. Some of you guys found out somebody was like, hey, sex. Some of you guys found out somebody like, it ain't funny, because I know it hurts. It ain't funny, but at the same time, it's like, somebody told you about it, but you cussed them out. They was like, girl, look at him. He don't look like he walking funny. Girl, look at him. He don't look like he turned his head and you didn't see him do that. You didn't see him turn his head. You didn't see him do that. You didn't. We know you did. Get out of here, buttercake sink. Ain't no way to run. No, you did not. Anyway. I'm leaving you because your mother don't like me at all, and you tell her all our business, and I can't breathe. I'm not comfortable in one relationship. So somebody's leaving you, they can't breathe because you say mom birthday. So water signs be you tell somebody that, or somebody feels that way towards you. So whichever way is, man, you met love to gamble a lot. So somebody you guys met somebody that love to gamble. So just be mindful of somebody who you think is okay, but this man has a gambling problem. And don't get so deep into your feelings and blind about all the other things until you realize that He did say let's go to some song. I'm just gonna play one lottery ticket. I'm gonna play one thing. Cause you know how somebody when you first meet them, they act all slick. Watch that little thing that he think he's just doing it on occasion. Cause it might be what a huge red flag that you like. First thing he'll say, you met me. You know how it was coming. Because guess what? I showed you proof. I show you all kind of signs. You just choose to ignore it. You just want to play blind because you just want you a man so bad. Because sometimes they get real nasty to tell you about it. And you looking all crazy like, oh no. If I had known, I would have just left you alone. I'd have known you was going to pay my bank account. If I'd have known you was going to get my check every month and turn around talking about you going to pay it back and never pay it back, I would have been left you alone. No, you should have left him alone when you see him buy a lottery ticket. Should have left him alone when he said, oh, I'm just playing a little game. And the machine was flipping and you ignored and turned your head. You guys do a lot of little stuff y'all be turning your heads on. And until later on, you be like, oh, that he not come. Where's my check be at? Oh, Lord, that will need to be here. Woo! We had to move again because you don't spend the money. We can't pay the rent. We can't pay the light bill. Oh, my. Anyway, let's move on. It's very hard to forgive you for sleeping with me. I am blind by pain. What you did with my seed. Woo! So stuff like that, be careful who you're dating. Sometimes they think to you just to get next to something that's fresh meat. Okay, so be mindful of that fresh meat. You cook as if you don't. Oh, I was saying that before. I forgot. Let's go up here. Okay. I set it over here, so I couldn't figure out what it was. A guy is dating to. Okay, you gotta rate that hard. Someone feels like you hurt them. Someone feels like you hurt their parents, and so okay. You take measures of more. And it feels like you don't want to risk it. Okay, so this is somebody saying that so water signs, you could be going through an energy where someone says every time you do something, they're measuring everything you do, they're counting your steps. So you may feel like someone around you is making sure they watch every little move you make, and sometimes you feel like you're locked in. You can't, and I know somebody is like that, you know. So it's definitely an energy where you feel like you're trapped and you feel like you're in this big box. And you feel like the person won't forgive you, or you feel like someone just trying to keep you, like, say it's like you go to the bathroom with your phone for they say, oh, so you're going to talk to somebody? Or you go outside and say, I'm going to go out here and talk. Oh, you finna go out there meet him? Oh, you finna go out there meet her? So it's something like that, some kind of energy like that. Water signs. Ooh, sure. Don't blanket around and get caught cheating on the earth sign because they're real what's. So therefore, some of your water signs, if you're dating a water sign, if your water sign, they're dating an air sign, be mindful because this person here may decide to say, hey, guess what I'm going to do? I don't like you no way. I just want the money. Okay, some of you guys, this is dealing with finance. So some of you guys no longer have a job at retirement home. You will be given extension on to pay your rent. Give me a second. Some of you guys will be getting the 50,000, 10,000. You will not get the 600,000 that owe you back. And you may say, why am I saying that? So that things do not pick up my words or what I'm saying. So I hope you can understand what I'm saying. 50,000, 100,000. So they doesn't talk about money and stuff like that. Because some people don't want you kind of give people heads up. You know, some people do it. Some people can't. You know, some people, they just really feel like you're just being petty and messy. And they will find an excuse to block you and to keep you, hold you back. Which is a good thing, you know, because that has to come back around to somebody. Okay, so that's a good thing that they do that. So sometimes they don't know what they're doing. Now, you know how Jesus said, forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. But sometimes you have to forgive people because sometimes everybody else will be like, you could join my party, you could be my friend. Come to find out they number bullies and number junkies. But the people that's good for you, you treat them like crap. That's how the world is now. Some of you guys will get $400. Some of you guys will get $100. Some of you guys is a huge actor. Some of you guys are only farmers who only farms walnuts. Some of you guys no longer farms. Some of you guys are maybe charging more money for your meat products. I just experienced that today. Some of you guys are no longer making donuts and cake or have that bakery. Some of you guys are just very small musicians where you just got play in small clubs and stuff like that. You become a big name on TV. So in other words, that means you're making good movies. So in other words, you're someone who makes pretty good movies, and you're coming out with a new movie on Hulu. Some of you guys are just becoming a woman's doctor, or you guys are a woman's doctor. You receive your money from your grandpa, your granddaddy with a testament. So some of you guys may have a Will of Testament that you receive money from your grandpa. Okay, fire signs, this has been your, not fire signs, water signs, I'm sorry. This is all I have got for your reading for this time. I think a lot of stuff I've already said before in some of your readings. I feel like that's why I'm repeating the same thing. If you see how much I have and what odds I put in the same thing. So it could be the same energy that's going on around the world. I should say this main focus that everybody's still talking about or lingering on, you know. So that's probably why I haven't got so much of a bigger change. Because usually when I go into another week, I get different. And for some reason this week, I did not get different. So water signs, this has been your reading. I'm sorry I blogged for 30 minutes so you guys reading. So you can skip to this part and I'm going to write in the description box to skip to 30 minutes and write it down now. That's why I got the paper here so I can write it down. So you guys don't have to skip. So you have to worry about me venting. On the water signs. And like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys have a blessed day and be a blessing to others. At least the blessings for those who believe in God. If you don't believe in God that created the world, it's up to you. It's your free will. I'm not forcing you to do anything you don't want to do. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Free will. You can do if you want to. It's supporting the channel. If you don't support the channel, it's fine because I feel like there's nobody here but an automatic thing. Because regular people will damn sure comment and say something, especially water signs. But it's okay. I do it because it's trying to help you too. But anyway, until next time, water signs, I hope you guys have a good day.